Family, draw nigh. We have been waiting for this next Impatient drop with Rin and Chris Webby. And look, I mean, listen, speaking of Impatient, I mean, I might not be the brightest crayon in the knife drawer, but I think that the formulation of a group implies that there might be more than one album here. I mean, I've enjoyed this journey immensely of the music that they've been dropping. I mean, we've had a lot of unexpected sound. I mean, let alone the introduction of the genre called blues rap. Shout out to Down the Road. And there's been, some talk about caskets on the interwebs. We're going to be taking a slight turn here, it sounds like. Family, without any further ado, like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the hype button if that button is available, and let's let them cook.
If I don't wake tomorrow morning, empty shoes on the side of the hall, and if my number stops calling, picture frames hanging up by the door. You try to reach right in and hold on to the little things, but they slip away.
You try to reach right in and hold on to the little things. Fam, I can tell this is going to be one of them ones, and this is, we definitely needed this from Inpatient to really see how Rin and Webby handle these passionate topics together. So I'm excited for this one. At the same time, when he says, and you try to reach right in and hold on to the little things. Family, my mom passed away, as some of you know, a couple of years back. And I always say a couple of years back, no matter how many years pass, because to me, it always seems like recent, right? But what you try to hold on to is their way of being. You try to notice who they were showing up in other people. And for that reason, it's like, when somebody makes the kind of joke I know my mom would have loved, it's almost like she's there again. Hold on to the little things. Hold on, family.
And hold on to the little things, but they slip away. But it's okay.
Right.
'Cause I had a hell of a time.
Hold on, is he making it a bop right now with the horns?
I had a hell of a time. Know that I had the time of my life. So remember me and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes until the casket's closed.
This is really, isn't it a bunch of still shots at the end of the day? The moments that really stick out to you when your time has come? Of course, I've never, been at that state before or thinking that I was, that death was impending. But if I think about it, the moments that really stand out in my life, yeah.
And if you get that sinking feeling, thinking about the time we shared, I hope it helps you with your healing. Knowing that I wasn't scared, I savored everything. I pressed the world up against my skin. I was lucky, I guess. I always found the beauty in the mess.
And family, notice again how you're starting to hear now with this second verse, there's that clapping that joins the beat. He's saying, look, you're all invited to this way of thinking about it, right? That it's not necessarily all for nothing. It's about having a good time. It's about having a hell of a time, and maybe not just having a good time, but, having a meaningful time, I hope. We're going through a meaning crisis right now, but it's about taking people seriously, taking relationships seriously, right? I had a hell of a time, at least. So even though there's sad times, right? They were good times.
Healing, knowing that I wasn't scared. I savored everything. I pressed the world up against my skin. I was lucky, I guess. I always found the beauty in the mess. You gotta hold on to the little things, but you gotta let go just a little bit. When another one goes, one will find their wings. Then they'll find their way home, little take and give. Into the unknown and the changing tides. The sun sets low on an endless sky. So much we don't know, I don't know why, but I'll be fine.
Fam, hear me out. The reason that when you think about raising a child, I mean, I'm in the middle of it, not the middle. I have a 5-year-old, right? And it's a beautiful experience being a dad, but the beauty of that experience is tied to the suffering in it, to the worrying. My daughter developed a cough, right? And was like, what is that? We took her to the emergency room a couple of times, and certain doctors were confused. Everything kind of ended up okay, but the beauty that you see is kind of mixed up with the suffering of it, right? I think if it was flat, it would be trivial. If everything in life went smoothly, it would be meaningless. No one would care about it. So one of the reasons we care so much, right? One of the reasons that this is it jerks on the heartstrings is because the suffering is a part of the meaning. It's a part of the beauty, right? Phenomenal. Let's continue, please.
So much we don't know, I don't know why, but I'll be fine, 'cause I had a hell of a time. Know that I had the time of my life.
Family, just because he's there doing his dad thing, you know what I'm saying? I have to show you guys this, right? This is my daughter. She hold on, hang on a second. This is not for the squeamish, but this is a song she wrote, okay? Respectfully. All right, listen, she wrote a rap song and it only has one lyric, the poo-poo. But we had a great time, you know what I'm saying? And this is one of the things that's going to stick out to my mind. Me beatboxing as, my 5-year-old daughter jumps up and down in a tree singing the poop song. Respectfully.
Know that I had the time of my life. So remember me and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes. Until the casket's closed.
That young man got a Super Nintendo.
So it goes.
Shout out to Ren giving Super Nintendo a shout out. Guys, Ren wrote a song called 1990s. Oh yeah, baby. Super Nintendo is a heck of a gift. That kid has no idea the hours and hours of nonsense that await.
Until the casket's closed. Raise a toast as the curtains close and the sunset fades to black.
Come on, Webby.
So the story goes, we all walk with ghosts, no one-way tickets back.
That's facts.
The casualties of our memories that slip right through the cracks. All the inside jokes and the times we spoke will stay frozen in the past.
All the inside jokes. Guys, it's important what they're saying if you don't miss out on all of the jewels they're dropping. The inside jokes, man. That to me is one of the saddest parts, because I mean, of course, there's the joy of the memories and there's the times that you laugh about. But one of the things that aches a little bit, about especially my mom passing. Her and I had so many inside jokes. Like when I would rap her my battle bars before I would battle somebody. I would call my mom and rap my bars to her, and she'd be like, "Oh, I wrote those bars, and you're biting my style." Like my mother would say that. We had that kind of relationship. And man, the inside jokes that when somebody you deeply love, man, it's like a part of yourself because you interacted with them on a level that no one else did, and so. Man, shout out to Webby for that bar. Definitely the inside jokes we remember.
Of our memories that slip right through the cracks. All the inside jokes and the times we spoke will stay frozen in the past. You gotta hold on to the little things, but you gotta let go just a little bit. I guess we'll never know what tomorrow brings, but just know you're not alone in the thick of it. I know it feels cold when the cast.
And you're not alone in the thick of it. That's the reason that you now have multiple participating voices in the chorus. That's the reason that you start to get that hand clap, right? It's reminding you, not only in the lyrics, but in the structure of the instrumental, that you're not alone, right? You have this audience clapping. It's like clap. I hope if ever they get the opportunity to perform this song together, which might not necessarily be, possible given, they live in different countries and everything. But, I'll definitely be seeing Webby again for sure. Hopefully, I visit Europe. I definitely want to hunt down Rin. But, you know, hopefully during this portion of the song, we're all clapping. You know what I mean? It's a together thing.
But just know you're not alone in the thick of it. I know it feels cold when the casket's closed. Stories untold on a headstone. For those who grow old, it'll fly by in the blink of an eye.
Right.
So we'll have a hell of a time. Know that we'll have the time of our lives. So remember us and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes until the casket's closed. We'll have a hell of a time.
Wow.
Know that we'll have the time of our lives. So remember us and smile. All of the souls heading back home down a one-way road. So it goes until the casket is closed.
Oh, yeah, that's fire. Yes, yes, indeed. Family, listen, rest in peace to any of those of you who have lost someone recently, or if it just seems like it's really recent, or if it's one of those that'll always be recent, like for instance, my mother. It'll always, I don't care if I'm 60 years old, it will always feel to me that my mother's passing was recent. It's just going to be something that, I will always feel like the world makes more sense with her in it. There's a line in this song where it says that it's stories too long for a headstone or something like this. Stories that don't fit on a headstone. I'm getting that lyric wrong, but you understand the gist. That to me is such a pertinent part. One of the most offensive things to those of you who've seen, a loved one in a casket, in a viewing, let's say, is that it doesn't look like them. It's like, when the muscles relax. Sorry to get grotesque, if that sounds grotesque, right? But it's like, man, and then you see the headstone, and it's like, man, the amount of stories that we had together wouldn't fit on that headstone. It's like reducing the story and the life to something which kind of appears, and there's never doing it enough justice when you lose someone. But I maintain that if you participate in their way of being and remember their way of being, then the loved one isn't truly lost in that case. Family, I deeply appreciate you. Thank you for allowing me to bloviate on this song. This was a special one and definitely needed for the trajectory of Inpatient, I find. Family, correspond with me in the comments below. Love ya, and I appreciate you.